Resistance to change isn't just stubbornness or negativity, it's often a sign of deeper concerns. According to Heather Stagel's TEDx research, behaviors like eye-rolling, foot-dragging, or even subtle undermining typically stem from 6 core fears: loss of control, loss of competence, loss of face, loss of inclusion, loss of certainty, and loss of future options. These are the real drivers behind what looks like surface-level pushback. By decoding these fears, senior leaders can secure rapid buy-in and drive change with minimal disruption. We'll look at how these fears show up for frontline managers, middle managers, and executives, so you can tailor your approach and navigate the emotional landscape of organizational change. Understanding these root causes is the first step. Next, we'll explore why even well-designed change efforts often stall before gaining momentum. If you're new here, please subscribe and like, because I share tips to help you improve your career. One of the biggest obstacles in organizational change is the point where momentum stalls, what Simon Sinek describes as the 15 to 18% adoption threshold in the law of diffusion of innovation. Most change efforts lose steam here, not because the strategy or product is flawed, but because leaders underestimate how adoption actually spreads. Early adopters, those who intuitively embrace new ideas, are essential to reaching the tipping point where change begins to accelerate organically. Apple's iPhone launch illustrates this perfectly. Rather than appealing to the entire market, Apple targeted innovators and early adopters, people who wanted to be first, who believed in the vision before the mainstream caught on. According to Sinek's Golden Circle model, Apple communicated the why behind the product, inspiring those who wanted to be part of something bigger. These early adopters created buzz and credibility, generating pull that eventually brought the broader market along. Early adopters make decisions based on opportunity rather than threat. While most people hesitate in the face of uncertainty, this group sees change as a chance to get ahead. That's why their engagement is so valuable. They are willing to experiment, take risks, and share their experiences with others. Every organization has these natural innovators, the employees who volunteer for pilot programs, propose new solutions, or sign up first for optional training. They usually represent about 10 to 15% of your workforce and can be found across different departments. Identifying these individuals before launching a change initiative is critical. Develop a simple scoring system based on observable behaviors: who adopted previous changes quickly, who shares new ideas in meetings, who helps others adapt, and who participates in pilot projects. Track participation rates in pilot programs and voluntary sign-ups for innovation initiatives. These metrics help you pinpoint your early adopters. By mapping and activating this group, you bypass the 15% stall point and build real momentum. However, finding early adopters is only the beginning. The real value comes from how you support and empower them. When you frame new initiatives as opportunities and connect them to a larger purpose, early adopters become advocates who influence their peers. Their enthusiasm spreads, helping to overcome resistance and drive adoption throughout the organization. This approach lays the groundwork for a more adaptive culture, one where change is not just tolerated but embraced as a source of growth. If you're finding this helpful, please subscribe and like, because it helps us create content that matters to you. Also, if you want to take your skills further, check out our executive education and executive coaching programs at execbeat.com. The Infinite Mindset Playbook starts with a simple distinction. Organizations that treat change as a threat fall behind, while those that see it as a path for ongoing improvement adapt and thrive. Simon Sinek describes this as the difference between a finite mindset, focused on short-term wins, and an infinite mindset, where leaders view their organizations as works in progress. This mindset shapes how you respond to disruption, make decisions, and encourage innovation at every level. Amazon's approach, guided by its Day One philosophy, is a clear example. By operating as if every day is the company's first, leaders and teams maintain a sense of urgency and openness. Sinek's perspective reinforces this. Organizations that view themselves as constantly evolving avoid complacency and encourage experimentation. At Amazon, teams are expected to test new ideas, learn from setbacks, and treat failures as data points. Research shows that rolling out smaller incremental shifts reduces employee anxiety compared to sweeping mandates. When change feels manageable, employees are more likely to participate rather than resist. Pixar's Brain Trust meetings offer another practical model. Directors share unfinished projects with a trusted group that gives candid, constructive feedback. Sinek notes that constructive feedback fueled progress at Pixar because it separated ideas from egos, creating psychological safety. This environment allows team members to challenge each other openly, turning resistance into collaborative problem-solving. When employees feel safe to question and be questioned, resistance becomes a tool for improvement rather than a barrier. History shows the risk of clinging to old models. Like music labels that held on to CD sales and resisted streaming, companies that fear disruption forfeit control to outsiders willing to innovate. Netflix, in contrast, disrupted its own DVD business by embracing streaming, staying ahead of the curve while competitors stalled. This learned resistance to change can be unlearned. Organizations can retrain their cultures by celebrating intelligent failures, measuring how teams recover from setbacks, and gradually increasing the frequency of small experiments. Over time, this builds a new muscle memory for change, making adaptation part of your company's DNA. Ultimately, shifting your mindset isn't just about reducing resistance. It's about turning that resistance into a resource. When people see their concerns acknowledged and their input valued, they move from passive resistors to active contributors. This sets the stage for the next step. Understanding how belief in a shared purpose can drive real transformation. Strong organizations outperform their peers by making purpose central to every change effort. Simon Sinek's research shows that leaders who communicate the why behind their initiatives, rather than just the what or how, attract people who share their core values and foster lasting loyalty. Apple's success, for example, comes from rallying employees and customers around a shared belief, not just a product. To put this into practice, map your natural innovators across the 6 hidden fears we discussed: loss of control, loss of competence, loss of face, loss of inclusion, loss of certainty, and loss of future options. This week, select one pilot project. Engage your top 10 to 15% innovators and measure not only adoption, but recovery speed from setbacks, as Simon Sinek recommends. The average Fortune 1000 company lasts just 40 years. Adaptability is essential for survival. Which of the 6 hidden fears do you see most in your organization? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more leadership insights from ExecBeat. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like because it helps us bring you more free videos. And if you're ready to grow your career, visit execbeat.com to learn about our executive education and coaching.